Thanks so much, Eric. You'd think for a group of students who were getting ready for a national cooking competition, they'd be in a kitchen. However, here at Sturgis Brown High School, they're in the hallway getting ready for whatever area they'll be thrown at them when they get to the National Pro Start competition in Dallas.
Good morning, Adam. We're live again in Outdoor Campus West. We caught our fish. We're getting ready to clean them. Keith, can you walk me through how we clean a fish?
I can, but first I must confess, you caught most of the fish, so kudos to you.
What can I say? I'm an awesome fisherman.
Trout are one of the easiest fish to clean. We're just going to make a little cut across here. Then we're going to cut down along here.
So why do you cut down along there?
We need to take the insides out.
You know, Adam, right now the Rapid City Regional Airport doesn't look too busy, but 3 flights all just left within 35 minutes, so there is potential that it could get busy. A huge group of students just walked past going on a school trip, so, you know, there is potential that school's out, they're getting on trips, people are going through that security, and you don't want to be the one that's late. You know, Adam, it is hard to think that someone you know could potentially hurt you, but that's why we're here. We're here to learn how to protect ourselves. So, Robin, before the break, we told them we were going to teach them what we just did. And we're continuing to bring you updates on that major fire burning just 4 miles west of Spearfish. Latest numbers say the Crow Peak fire is now 50% contained. The U.S. Forest Service says pockets of areas left untouched previously by the fire are now sparking up, but efforts to hold in mop-up containment lines progress. This morning, Fire Command will change from a Type 2 management team to a Type 3, indicating the fire is becoming less significant. And don't forget about the holiday trash schedule. Here is the adjusted week in Rapid City. If you usually set your trash out today, set it out tomorrow instead. The rest of the week will be normal collection days. However, leave your cans out until the trash is collected. All the routes will be completed by Friday afternoon. The landfill will also be closed today. And if you haven't had a chance to catch some fireworks, don't worry, there are still a couple of chances. Here's an updated list of where to see the displays. Tonight there are fireworks in Hot Springs at dusk, in Rapid City at Arrowhead Country Club, at the Homestake Open Cut and Lead, in Custer at Pageant Hill, and in Piedmont. Also in Piedmont, the 4th of July parade starts today at 10 a.m. And fossils of long-lost creatures aren't going anywhere, but for the first time in nearly 40 years, the Mammoth site in Hot Springs is changing the way you can experience the past. Rachel Ryan takes us on a trip in history. Coming up, a local scooter shop is defying expectations, and the owner, you'll never guess how old he is. You'll want to hear this story, and it's barbecue season, but some are forgoing the propane and switching to a more natural alternative. Find out more in just a couple of minutes. And if you didn't grill over the weekend, you probably know someone who did, but did they grill with propane or natural gas, and is there really a difference? Find out after the break, and hold on to your hats. The Black Hills Roundup is in Belle Fourche, brought out the competition. When we come back, we have a special 4th of July sports segment. Derek, a second video posted online showing the shooting death of 37-year-old Alton Sterling in the parking lot of a Baton Rouge convenience store. The black man was shot several times by 2 white officers. Today, the FBI and the Department of Justice will be meeting with Louisiana State Police to discuss the role state police should play in the investigation.
Good morning, Kayla.
Good morning, Adam. President Obama is hitting the trail today for the first time with Hillary Clinton as speculation grows about who will be her running mate. This as Donald Trump goes on the attack and hints at a surprise pick of his own.
An effective predator than mammals because they have the ability to wait. They're not just going to starve to death by not eating today.
The Nebraska toddler's death in Orlando this week is shocking. And even Reptile Gardens curator Terry Phillips says in this case, no one's to blame. The situation surrounding the boy's death comes down to the Floridian environment and the wildlife that comes with it.
They're going to sit tight, wait at the water's edge like you see some of these guys doing. They'll sit there with just their eyes and their nostrils and their ears above the surface of the water, and they're just watching and listening. So when food comes down to the edge of the water, the alligator or crocodile will quietly sink down, they'll sneak over, and then they have what we call explosive energy, and they just explode out of the water and grab onto whatever animal they're trying to get, bring it back into the water as quickly and as violently as possible, and they typically will bring it as deep down as they can get and drown it.
These predators are the top of the food chain, and in the wild, even at the Seven Seas Lagoon at the Grand Floridian Hotel, the alligator is king, and a 2-year-old boy didn't stand a chance.
But a 4 to 5 foot alligator is perfectly capable for taking a human of that size.
Across the United States, wildlife is a major part of our daily surroundings, from alligators in Florida to buffalo in Yellowstone and Custer State Park. While the animals are very different, one thing they do have in common, the wild is their territory, and attacks can happen. And with more tourists and more wildlife areas, the combination can be deadly.
The animals quickly learn to associate humans with food, which is going to then lead to them thinking of people as a food item. So you don't want to just anything. You want to avoid drawing them towards people.
Good morning, Adam. As you can see, the turtles here are so much taller than I am, and they look exactly like the turtles you see on TV. And the process to make them is absolutely incredible. Take a look.
Jordan Dahl grew up watching the Ninja Turtles. Now with a son of his own, he's passing on his love for the animated series.
Told me every single day that I should carve turtles, so then I carved a little 4-footer, but that wasn't good enough for him, so he wanted the real deal. He wanted 7-foot turtles, so I did that, and we surprised him on his birthday with it.
Jordan and his wife Ashley started creating chainsaw art when they were 19. Now married with 3 children, their inspiration for their art comes from a new place.
Whatever Lincoln likes, Dad carves.
At just 4 years old, Lincoln's greatest request remains these giant turtles. Dahl says people of all generations stop to take pictures with them, and his kids love them too.
Lincoln loves the turtles. We surprise him on his birthday.
City Kayla Courvell, she's going to show us what kind of chainsaw art she's making this morning. We'll have more after the break. Derek, and you've got cat people and dog people, and there's even some families with pet snakes, birds, and fish, but for some, the more exotic, the better. And we've got one here.
This month, we're taking a look at some unique critters you can adopt into your family and ones you kind of need to stay away from. Today, we're talking about non-cuddly pets, from snakes to alligators and other scaly creatures.
Snakes, turtles, even alligators might seem like a fun, unique, low-maintenance pet that doesn't cost much and anyone can take care of. But that couldn't be farther from the truth.
Anyone who's interested in bringing an exotic into their home needs to understand that's what they are. They're not called exotic just to give them an interesting name. They require a lot of research done on the owner's behalf.
Especially when it comes to food, unlike your dogs and cats that have plenty of options at just about any store, reptiles like these require a more special diet.
Different animals require different food requirements, and so you're going to have to be willing to, potentially have bags of mice or rats in your freezer, crickets around, they're loud. Some reptiles, only eat lizards, for instance, and that can be difficult to find as well as fairly expensive.
And if you're looking for a smaller animal to keep as a pet in your home, when it comes to snakes, alligators, and turtles, that's not realistic.
Large snake is going to get large. There's not really the ability to stunt them down to keep them mini or dwarf.
The same goes with alligators and turtles. These reptiles are meant to grow, and when they do grow, you may no longer have space for them. And then what? Well, it's not just as easy as releasing it into the wild or giving it to the local shelter.
Get just dozens of calls. People who would like to donate their pets to us. We just don't have the staff or the space to accept everyone's unwanted pets.
But if you're insistent on owning an exotic reptile, Plank says you need to get educated.
Research on what type of husbandry care you're going to need, on what food, how you're going to find that food, how much it's going to cost, how often you need to feed. Things like that are very important to look into before you do purchase.
And remember, a $10 lizard or turtle could cost you hundreds or even thousands of dollars in the end due to their high maintenance needs.
Adam, I brought with me today Charlie, my turtle, because I was one of those people who thought, super inexpensive, low maintenance, easy to take care of. I was so wrong. He's a year old, and when I got him, he was about the size of a nickel. So he's grown quite a bit, and he's actually going to grow about a foot long.
Yeah, and he's kind of hanging out, and kind of shy right now. I guess the bright lights maybe getting to him a little bit, but, I guess they're not everybody's camera ready like you are in the morning. Oh. It's all right, Charlie, next time you'll get them.
But they're very, very expensive. I laid out how much it costs. You have to buy the tank, the UVB light, the basking platform, and a turtle, which costs $10, $15. Again, with everything you have to buy for them, can be really, really expensive. So it's something you really have to think about.
All right, thanks, Kayla. Well, and thank you, Charlie. And coming up on